So my Catalyst X, maximizing engagement with predictive customer journeys, is in Catalyst what is in the second phase, and we are working on phase 1, 2, and maybe 3 and 4 to develop the idea of predictive customer journeys. And that well in a way that it is measurable. Why is it actually measurable? Digital transformation is one of our targets, to have customized and personalized engagement. Support the idea of an omnichannel customer who shops omnichannel. We try to mitigate threats such as a sales agent is not always so effective in a store, and an online conversion rate is often low. Meeting business goals is prevent churn, increase sales with less staff, and improve the online conversation to an increased sales rate in the shop. Improve the online conversation rate and comply with the idea that client shops omnichannel. For the future, we like to address some needs, manage the customer's anxiety across the channels. Make sure that the marketing and the sales costs can be more optimized and make us ready for a digital ecosystem where we sell products across different partners. So what is our champion? It is Orange. I'm working for Orange, and we have Ncell, the Nepal telco. And Art of Arc is, say, our consultancy who support us. Our participants are in this phase Comark, Nokia, Tivaro, and ZTE Soft. So what is our business case? Now, in principle, we like to make the sales rate more successful, and that can be in the shop and that can be online. So in fact, we try to maximize this sales rate, and you have to think about that currently the conversion rate is maybe around 10% in the shop and around 8% online, and the maximum levels are probably around 40%. So there is a huge gap what we can improve. And the approach what we like to take is not saying, okay, we like to sell to the customer, but more to support the customer's buying process. And the customer in their buying process need to make choices, and those choices we like to support. And for that we need to have identification of the customer and their permission. We need to work omnichannel to apply that. We apply AI and machine learning for a next best engine, and what we call customer experience index. And creative marketing engagement, where we use the different media channels for engage with the customer. So an overview of the components. So in fact, we are watching the customer 24 hours. Yeah? And the customer shows up somewhere online and express a need for a product. This is what we call an intent. And in fact, we try to work together with the customer to build this intent up to a need. You can say there is an intent, there is an interest, and later on we find out also aspects which are maybe not interested for the customer, but that is for us a knowledge. But we can apply that to build the need of the customer. So we have the idea from one customer, one journey, and we use the TM Forum journey approach. It's a standard actually, best practice, and we use that and we adapted that a bit. And we use an approach to how to reach the audience and how to define new audiences. So in fact, we like to just bring more customers to the shop and make sure that when the customers enter the shop, they are kind of ready to buy. And so in that way, they only need to look into the eyes of the sales agent and get convinced that the offer is kind of the best fit with their need. And so probably you are faster to the point that you can close the deal and start with the payment process. And for that we built up, say, an online discussion where we interact with the customer with different say engagements. We have built a model for that to improve it, and we create different type of engagements from what we call be aware phase to the point that the customer already said, I like to buy and I like to get a cross-sell and a feedback. So enhance customer experience in the Orange buying journey. We use the Tifaro identification concept to understand that an unknown customer is kind of at a certain point a recognized and verified customer what really connects to our, let's say, customer ID. And it complies with the GDPR context where we use actually or make use of the GDPR by sending out notifications and inform the customer if he likes or she likes that we follow her or not. So in fact, Tifaro identifies the customer. So it's kind of like a window. We have an idea from, okay, this is the customer, and we know or we can connect to that face and customer ID. With that, we understand also, and this is Nokia brings that in, a kind of a network experience or a usage experience, and that is brought back into the customer experience index. And you can say, okay, you have maybe different customers in the same environment, but they all perceive a different experience. And we apply that together with our, what we call next best engagement tool, to sell or to engage better with the customer. So these engagements are in principle omnichannel. So via different channels we connect with the customer, maybe get information from the customer, but also communicate back to the customer. And one way to do that is with an advertisement. I mean, often the customer is kind of walking away from the selling or from the buying process. And then, for example, the customer likes to watch soccer and the soccer game starts, and so you don't continue your buying process. And at another day, we like actually to bring back that customer, and it can make sense to say, okay, in the sport blog, what discuss the story of the football match last night. We put there the advertisement, what connects to the story of the customer. And so the image needs to be close to the image what you did show earlier. And with our model, what we defined, we can bring this customer faster to the point that the customer selects. So it's kind of leverage predictive next best engine to orchestrate dynamically the customer buying journey phase end to end, and to provide around-the-clock omnichannel high conversion rate. And we used it for that, this identification plus permission. We use a buying engagement process where we have our segmentation as basic entry point. We apply network insights as an additional and enrichment to the engagements. And we use then, say, different type of offers. You can call that maybe promo, but it is playing with the flexible business parameters to adjust to this segmentation. And that we measure, and if the, say, the rate that a customer says, yes, I like to buy this, is not too big, then we can optimize our business process to tune better to increase that rate. So what are the benefits? The perceived benefits are maybe pretty high. I mean, when you think about if this process moves smooth, then the network promoter score can go up maybe, well, 10 to 15%. And that's quite a lot of, say, extra revenue. And we have seen in other industries that when you bring a customer in a kind of a discussion mode, engagement mode, from an online to a shop environment, then the customer has the intent to buy more, but also, or maybe buy quicker, so the rate is increasing, but also have more value. They have the tendency to buy maybe an accessory ABC or a little bit upsell, and so your revenue can grow enormous, up to 10-15%, and in an environment of, say, a business unit of Orange France, is this maybe between 500 and 1,000 million euro. So no extra products, it is just your existing product palette.